All right, so quick screencast going over a new feature in the GoToWP plugin, available in version 1.0.2.1 going forward, surrounding the type equals list shortcode. A customer requested the ability to control what shows up in that shortcode. So in that dropdown, instead of just listing all the webinars which are in your GoToWebinar account, to show other to control, you know, which webinars appear there. So we've gone ahead and did that. This update also includes something that I'm kind of surprised it hadn't included already. But in the settings page now, you get to see the webinar ID. So I can't believe it took that long to kind of have the light bulb go on that was important. So apologies for taking forever. So now instead of hunting for that webinar ID in your Citrix account, when you connect to your Citrix account, it'll pull that information in. So you'll just need to copy it from here for use in your shortcode. But what I wanted to do is just quickly show you that shortcode on this right here. So the shortcode has a couple things now, a few things: include IDs, exclude IDs, and days. And so your typical shortcode would be something like this. We'll just say add new post just to give this a try. And we'll call it go to WP test. And we'll put that shortcode in there. Type list. We're going to take out this stuff for now and just say type list. And we'll preview it. And it should show us a drop down of those 4 webinars that are in there. So there's webinar 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, what the exclude does, if we go back in here and add that back in, so the exclude, well, let me start with the include because it'll be a little bit easier. The include is pretty straightforward. So we're going to just say include that ID, and we're going to get rid of those, and we'll preview it again, and we'll see. And there should just be the 1 there once it refreshes. Yeah. So we've only included 1 webinar. So the include is helpful if you have a ton of webinars in your account and you want to, so let's say you had 100 webinars upcoming and you only wanted to show 10. Well, you could, include the IDs, they're separated by commas, and add more IDs to build your list. So that's how include works. The exclude is, let's say that you have 100 webinars and you want to show 90 of them. So instead of copying and pasting 90 IDs in an include shortcode, you could just exclude 10. So hopefully that makes sense. So if we exclude that ID and preview it, should show us 3. Yeah, so it's showing us 3, and it's excluding that one, the webinar number 3. So that's how this works. The one other thing in here that you can control is if I take out, I could use them in combination with days. And days is simply just the number of days into the future that you want to have webinars. So if we put days equals 7, this should further reduce the number of, it might not even show any of them because I think those are all set in May, but let me look. Yeah, so there's no webinar. So the days equals 7 is not far enough into the future in order to pull in any webinars. So if we change that to 30 and we refresh, it should give us some. No. Let's try 300. Oh, there it was. I just didn't wait long enough. Okay, so 300, so May 18th. We're at April 15th. So if I change this to, let's try 31. I think if my mental calculator is good. Refreshing. It should show us just that one because that's the only one that's there within 31 days. So you can use the days in combination with exclude IDs or include IDs. You could use it by itself. So it gives you flexibility in controlling what shows up in that dropdown. We're presently working on having the same functionality for a series of webinars, so the same webinar but with just different times. So look for an update on that shortly as well. But that's the bulk of the update. One, just this simple thing that the webinar ID now shows up in the settings page, and then the short code here. And if you go to go2wp.supportico.us and look at that release note, it'll give you some examples of how you can use exclude or include, etc. So if you have any questions, post them here on the support forum, or you can get us on Twitter at go2wp, and assuming that loads, we're there, we promise. So there you go. All right, have a good day. Look forward to feedback and other feature requests / questions. Bye.